You're watching Backcountry Builds, and today I'm going to take you along with me while I replace a rotted out trailer axle, clean up this forgotten 5x10 cargo trailer, struggle our way through but learn some things along the way, and make quite a bit of profit from my Chevelle project. So quite a while ago, one of my Army buddies reached out and told me he had a blown out trailer bearing and was looking to get rid of this cargo trailer on the cheap. The price we settled on was $500 cash, and I was responsible for towing it home. I'm fortunate enough to have a flatbed trailer with some beefy ramps, and with little persuasion and some thick straps, we got her home safely. All right, it's February 1st. We are headed to my buddy's house. Got the trailer on the back. We are going to put another trailer on a trailer, tow that trailer home, and turn it into a magnificent piece of towing machinery. All right, let's go pick it up. The overall trailer box was in decent shape, and I knew I could clean it up well. I was warned it was from the UP of Michigan and was far from rust-free. With a little bit of crawling underneath, I confirmed the frame itself had no rot, just plenty of surface rust. The trailer came with a title in my buddy's name, which added a lot of value in Missouri, where the possibility of legitimate registration was a key selling point and something I encourage you to use as a bargaining chip if you're in the market for one of these trailers. I was skeptical about the axle, but my original hope was that I could avoid purchasing an entirely new axle and instead purchase just a new spindle, but I quickly learned a full replacement of the axle was necessary if I was going to be confident selling this to someone else. Hey there, hi there, ho there. Dude, you want to see something that's going to get you excited?
Oh, yes.
So you grab onto this bad layer right here, right? Oh, she's tight. Oh, she's actually really bad too. Oh. So that's pretty bad.
That's not great.
That's pretty bad.
It's like a tie rod.
All right, come over here and close your eyes. Here, hold my hand. Come here. All right, ready? Reach out. Okay, go ahead, grab that sucker.
What bearing? There is no bearing.
She's throwing like a toaster, dude.
There is no...
Nothing. Ain't nothing in there.
Why?
You don't need grease if you're going fast enough, right?
Very true. Actually, metal will do, it'll just weld into a solid axle. That's what it'll do.
Yes.
Weld into one big axle.
All we gotta do is zip those 4 bolts out, and I'm going to cut them. A little bit of that in there, a little bit of that. I don't know why I'm even bothering. Once I got the tires lifted off the ground and the frame on jack stands, it was evident the axle's rust was no joke. Then began the process of axle removal, which started with removing the lug nuts. Even after I got all 10 lugs off, it was a struggle to free the wheel from the hub, but eventually with some persuasion from a large hammer, we got the wheels off. The tires were in pretty decent shape considering, which saved me some cash. The axle nuts were seized in place and gave no indication that they had any desire of being removed in order to take the hubs off. Oh, we're good. Repack it, we'll be good to go. The next step was to remove the U-bolts to be able to hopefully slide the axle out. My goal was to remove the least amount of rusty bolts necessary, and it was easy to just cut the rusty U-bolts off, since replacements were considerably cheap. With the U-bolts out of the way, I was expecting to slide the axle out and slide a new replacement axle in, keeping the leaves in place, but God had other plans. Oh, you're gonna make me take the hub off? Please no. Oh God, no. Are you serious? I really don't feel like dropping this front shackle. Oh, it sucks. This is bullshit. Oh. No shit. All right, cool. Everything the hard way. She's in there like somewhere. Oh, I'm gonna have to cut this thing off. the head of this bolt was seized in there, holding the leaf in. So I had to get up in there and cut it off. I'll have to drill that out from here. But other than that, axle's down. Pretty sure I might have to do the same thing the other side, which sucks. But we will cross that bridge when we get there momentarily. All right, success. We're gonna go shop around for a new axle. Get it up in there. Pretty neat. After finally getting the axle out, I took some measurements and determined the measurement between the leaves was 54 inches and the measurement between the two hubs was 73 inches and the axle was a 4-inch drop style. I had heard about a company called R&P Carriages, aka needatrailer.com, located out of Illinois. I called Ken, who confirmed he could make a custom axle to fit my application. I placed the order over the phone, and the axle shipped to my door in about 10 days from the time I placed the call. These guys are the real deal. I opted to go with a 35-pound Dexter Alco 73-inch hub face 2.4-inch tube with an easy lube. If you need the part number, it's 1791590-kit. The kit includes two 5x4.5 idler hubs that already come with the bearings, seals, and are pre-greased, ready to go, and already installed on the axle when they're shipped. Literally plug and play. The part number for that is SH2RV545-kit times 2. So the right thing to do was splurge. I also purchased a brand new 1750-pound leaf spring set and standard 4 2x3 round U-bolts. All this shipped to my door totaled about $500, which sounds expensive, but completely transformed this trailer from a non-roadworthy to a reliable and arguably like new. This was my first experience with R&P Carriages, and it certainly will not be my last experience. Fast forward about 5 months later, we ended up moving to New England after the completion of this cargo trailer project. I ordered another axle to replace a rusted axle for a snowmobile trailer I repaired. Stay tuned for that video. Now this clip would have been about 10 minutes worth of me ranting on about what it required and how much it sucked cutting, drilling, and hammering in order to get the old leaf springs out, but you get the point. The point is, it's all worth it. The reason I'm lying underneath this crappy old trailer is to scrounge together some cash to pay for my Chevelle project. If you haven't been following along, I encourage you to check out the channel, maybe subscribe to keep up with the many backcountry builds projects, resurrections, and other entertaining videos to make Sid the Chevelle's proper restoration and build possible. Thank you again to all of you for staying tuned. Here's a few clips of some projects that have been keeping Sid alive. Test here, I put them side by side. It seems like they did a great job. They put they welded these brackets on the new axle in the correct location, being the bottom, if you will, because this is going to face upward, and then the axle will ride on top of the leaves. I think you can set up brakes in the future if you want to. Comes with the hubs, already assembled, bearings packed, lug nuts, 2 leaf springs, and what else? And a U-bolt kit. So I think I might have to reuse my old brackets. So luckily I kept everything, but let's get into it. All right, after much impacting, I ended up getting well, it's not really a breaker bar, but a 1/2-inch drive and a big pipe on there, and I was able to turn this puppy over. So we're gonna get new hardware, but I wanted to retain these brackets here. And voila! I get the other side in now. Here we go. Everything's all torqued down. It fit perfectly. No slop, nothing. These leaves aren't bowed out or anything crazy. They measured it perfectly. I got the tire on the other side. No clearance issues at all. Let's get this thing on the ground. I'm gonna get this other tire on. I'm so excited. Success, baby. Alright, so I don't know if you can see it, but this thing's kind of filthy. So we're gonna clean it up good, especially the roof. If you can see this, we're gonna get some purple power on this thing, and it should turn at least this color. This stuff's incredible. I just sprayed some on here. I'll let that sit for a little bit. Get some on the wheels here too, just for fun. See if we can get that grease explosion off. What are you barking at, huh? Hi. All right. Not bad, not bad. Let's see what happened with some purple power on top. As you can see, that stuff is effective. Let's give this a spray and hit the other 3/4 of the top. Really impressive. After getting the trailer all sprayed down and wiped off, I took some honest photos and posted the trailer up for sale on Facebook Marketplace. Based on the going rate of trailers in this size, condition, and location, I shot for the stars. I think having the title and a brand new axle and hubs was a huge selling point, and it went quickly. Might I add, for way more than I'd expected when I purchased it for $500 a month prior. The asking price was $3,200, and the trailer sold in just days at full price. This was a little over $2,000 profit and made a huge dent in the Chevelle parts purchasing. I hope this video helps at least one of you out. I tried to complete this project with as many hand tools, if you will, to show that virtually anyone can take on a project like this. Getting a trailer in this condition home might present some issues with someone without another trailer, but I hope this encourages some of you to get creative and have fun resurrecting things like this. Thanks for watching, and give a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Don't hesitate to leave any questions in the comments, and check out Backcountry Builds on Instagram and TikTok too. For sale and sold.